So we have A through F on the consent agenda. Anybody have any questions?
You ready?
Yes?
Can we pull item E out of the
Yes.
consent agenda?
Yes. So for wording, Bobby, suggestions? Do we just, or can we, do we need to reword this?
Doesn't it go into the regular agenda and then,
Well, if,
Do you just need clarification, or you want to move it to the regular agenda?
so for wording, I'm okay with just getting some clarification on the wording. Can we, you okay with that?
Hmm?
Is everybody okay with that? Can we do that? All righty. So then, for letter E, we would need to take, just say consideration and possible action to approve instead of forward? No?
What was Kyle's question? I missed Kyle's question, why you wanted to
I
pull
think the
it.
question is on E, actually, you're the final authority, so you are not actually recommending anything. You would be approving it, and here it has forward with recommendation to the city council. Your recommendation would be, you have no recommendation because you're the one.
Approving it. So,
So
that's what I'm saying. So we would take off, just not say, or
just approve, just
the
approve.
condition would be,
Vote and approve it, and that's enough.
okay. Okay,
yeah, that was really,
okay, gotcha. Don't need to do anything other than than approve the entire agenda as is. Okay, so then I am looking for a motion for the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second?
I will second that.
Okay, all those in favor, raise your hand. And the vote's unanimous to approve. And we'll move on to the regular agenda. Consideration, letter A, consideration and possible action to approve and forward with recommendation to City Council final plat for Brazoria County Mud, number 56, water plant replat number 1 and extension, being a subdivision of 4.828 acres out of the Oliver Hall Survey Abstract 203, and also being a replat of Brazoria County Municipal Utility District Number 56 Water Plant as recorded in Brazoria County Plat Records Number 220, 200, 47, 954, City of Manvel, Brazoria County, Texas. So, Ms. Jess, could you give us an overview?
Yes, ma'am. This plat recommendation is for not for approval. There are a few items that it doesn't meet the criteria of the subdivision ordinance. That is updated date in the title block, the land surveyor's signature, drainage district's signature. There's a typo holder in the lien holder's subordination document. And also, we need to sign a notarized lien holder's subordination document with that corrected typo. And lastly, this plat takes access from Meridiana Section 53, but Section 53 has not been approved by City Council yet. I will make a note that this section is forthcoming, so you should be able to recommend approval of this plat soon at a different agenda.
Questions? Comments?
Why it says extension when it's not approved before?
It's just the name of the plat. It's not an extension to the plat.
Okay.
Replats are funny. You can name them whatever you want to name them.
So, no questions, then we'll move this on to, remember, negative, positive. Do I have a motion?
I will give you a motion to approve agenda item A.
second,
I'll say, oh,
So all those in favor of the motion on the table, raise your hand. All those that would like to say nay, raise your hand. It's a big positive, negative. Let's move on to letter B. Oops. Want to read letter B?
oh, sure. Consideration and possible action to approve and move forward with recommendation to City Council preliminary plat for Meridiana Detention Reserves L2 and O2. You're so used to reading.
Yes. Ms. Jess, would you give us an overview?
Yes, ma'am. The report that was submitted stated that staff did not recommend approval of this plat. Since the agenda was prepared, staff did receive approval with the item that was on here, which was providing approval from Drainage District number 5. So that has been met. So staff is now recommending approval of the Meridiana Detention Reserves L2 and O2 preliminary plat.
Okay, any questions? All right, then I'm looking for a motion on letter B.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
All those in favor, raise your hand. And unanimously approved. So again, we're with some wording on this letter C. So consideration and possible action to approve, and we're not forwarding this with recommendation. So, same thing. So, then I don't even have to say all that.
Don't worry about the wording, just
Go on with it.
go ahead and vote however you would vote your conscience on the actual underlying item,
Okay,
which I was per staff's recommendation.
all right. So, Ms. Jess, you want to give us a quick overview?
Yes, ma'am.
3?
Regular agenda item number C, which is the replat of abbreviated replat of Lot 23 Quail Valley Ranches, Section 2. Staff does not recommend approval of this plat. It doesn't meet the following criteria: the subdivision ordinance, that is an updated date in the title block, the land surveyor's signature, a field note description, a 60-foot wide road to proposed Lot 2, dedication of a minimum of 1/2 of 120 feet from Mustang Bayou for the drainage easement, a note stating that sidewalks shall be constructed as part of the issuance of a building permit for each tract, the drainage district's signature for approval, certificate of approval from the Planning, Development, and Zoning Commission, labeling the correct plat name for the Planning, Development, and Zoning Commission certificate block, a note stating the final plat will expire 2 years after final approval by PD&Z if construction of the improvements has not commenced within the 2-year initial period or the 1-year extension period granted by PD&Z. Provide construction plans for approval by the city engineer. Provide the plat name in the owner's certification block. And that concludes the reasons why.
Any questions on letter C? Then I'm looking for a motion.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor of the motion on the table, raise your hand. All those not, raise your hand. Okay, so it's a unanimous denial. Letter D, consideration and possible action to direct the staff to approve applicants' written statements of the conditions for any conditional approvals and reasons for disapproval of any plans or plats that were not approved per Texas Local Government Code 2120091. I think we went over this, but just give us an overview of.
This is an item you're going to see on your agenda every time. This is something that staff was already providing, was a notification through letter of reasons why plats were not approved or conditionally approved. This is saying that you're giving staff that permission on your authority to do that, so.
So I have a quick question. Is it you're gonna put this on every single time?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sure as you know what it is, you won't need an explanation, and y'all can just vote on it each
That's what I mean.
time.
But it's necessary to put on there every single time? Oh.
Well, it's going to pertain to what's on the agenda that just came before it.
So each agenda has
Each
to.
agenda is going to have, if it's appropriate, you would basically, if there's been a denial or conditions, explain or ask staff to go ahead and give the explanation why, which is usually going to end up being what's in the staff report. But if you see something that maybe Jessica missed, or if there's something got resolved in the interim and it doesn't need to be part of that anymore, the conditions or whatever, this gives you the opportunity to settle on what the final response is going to be.
Okay. Okay, so any questions? And then I'm looking for a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say, raise your hand. And the motion's unanimous. So letter E, can we put letter E? I guess we can't put them all together.
E, F, and G.
Guess we can't put them all together, huh?
Yeah, I guess if you wanted to have a slate, you could.
Make Christie and Christie?
I'm not gonna be that mean. I'm not gonna be that mean this time.
So do you want to do it with the slate, or you want me to?
That's all up to y'all.
Okay, let's just put them all together. We know what we're doing here, all right? Consideration and possible action, we're gonna put E, F, and G together. Consideration and possible action to appoint a planning, development, and zoning commission chair, a zoning commission vice chair, and a zoning commission secretary. So. Quit laughing.
Not a motion, it's a recommendation. I don't even know if everybody wants it.
Okay,
I'll make a recommendation for Dorothy
and Alina?
and Ryan, and I'll be secretary.
I was
I
gonna,
had that flipped. I had Dorothy, Elena, and Ryan.
Oh.
Well, you've done a good
that
job,
order?
so
in that order?
that was my order. Dorothy be chair, Elena
We
be
had
vice
Ryan and
chair,
I
and Ryan secretary. But that's up to y'all. I mean, I think y'all all three done a good job, so.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
So then it stays that way.
I just feel like I concentrate better when I'm not.
You
having
are. You'll get used to it.
to- I'll get used to it.
Y'all miss a few meetings. Okay, so then I would need a motion.
All right.
To approve.
Basically, we got a chairman on the Dorothy, and Mr. Ryan is vice chairman, and Alina is secretary. Then I'll make the motion then.
I'll second.
Is he good with that?
Okay,
I mean,
Oh, wow.
okay,
So I made the motion, so you can make a second motion. I mean, like a second.
okay,
I'll do a second.
All right.
okay. All those in favor, raise your hand. Let's just get this over with. Lucky girl, lucky girl. Okay,
Huh?
she,
Oh.
they did, she changed it. He changed it, so, and our final is consideration and possible action to approve excused committee member absences, which I think we have two.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor, raise their hand. And I need one more motion. I don't even think I have to read that one.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Look at your hand get tired there. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Hey, Brad.
Where was that?